This was Ayn Rand's answer to a question following her lecture on national unity in the 1972 presidential campaign. What differences other than atheism and religion do you have with religious conservatives like William F. Buckley Jr.?
It would be simpler if you ask me what similarity do we have, and I would say none. A difference such as reason versus mysticism is so much more fundamental, if one can use the term. It affects so much more than politics, that politics isn't even important in that context. The first issue is reason versus irrationality, mysticism, faith, and an organized faith. The next reason is morality, after which you can come to politics. Now, Mr. Buckley, and I assume you mean the whole conservative movement, which he represents. They advocate religion and an organized religion, a religion which in its past history and present attempts, it's very interested in politics. In other words, what they have in mind is a theocracy, a society ruled by religious functionaries, which we haven't had since pre-Middle Ages. It's one of the most primitive societies there is, like ancient Egypt, is an example of theocracy. The union of Catholic Church and state in the late Middle Ages, early Renaissance, which was responsible for the Inquisition, is an example of theocracy. The view that man is a low-grade, helpless sinner and worm, that the life on earth is a den of iniquity or a vale of tears or whatever they call it, and the idea that man must not aspire to solve his problems by using his mind, which is what they accuse the liberal movement of the 19th century, which isn't the same as today, when liberal movement really stood for individual rights, freedom, and free enterprise. And the Catholic conservative, thinkers, say that man should not attempt to solve social or earthly problems by means of reason. That's why we failed, because the liberals of the 19th century tried to go by nothing but, they used the expression, the arrogance of reason. We should all bow to the Pope and act on faith, and the Pope is the one who has declared that capitalism is worse than Marxism. And of course, the only morality is the morality of altruism, where it is our duty to sacrifice for the good of others and the glory of God. What is there in common between that and me?